Hi, my name is Balfour Wong, and you're listening to the Bluhdhaven podcast. You can catch the podcast every Wednesday at bluhdhaven.com, as well as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Enjoy the show! Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Bluhdhaven podcast, episode number 49. Today with your host, Balfour Wong. Joined with me today is Buddy Mills and Baltazar Peña.
Nice to be here.
So, Baltazar, it's been a long time since you've been on the show.
Long ass time, dude.
What have you been up to since the last time you were on the show?
I've been a lot of I've been missing in action. A lot of it was just applying, getting used to my new job that I got, which Raytheon. There's no real, like, people say like, oh, you shouldn't say like you work at Raytheon. Like, it's just like, don't worry, there's like no Russian spies. I don't think you guys are Russian spies.
I don't know, man.
Buddy, you're giving me a weird look.
This
don't
is America. This is America right now. We're gonna take all that information and exploit it.
Yeah.
Just like, you can say that.
Yeah.
Say what you do.
Yeah, like specializing in stuff.
Or like say any like info, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I've been trying to get used to getting into Raytheon. For ever since when I've been MIA, I've been trying to build my new studio.
Yeah.
From like literally like from ground up, from concrete to frame to, you know, everything, insulation, drywall, all that.
That was a really fun process to see him post on Facebook. It, like seeing from the ground up like what he was building, because it was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of work for sure. That was a lot of work. I didn't do too much work how it looks like outside of it.
Yeah,
I just did
like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did, and thank God actually it looks kind of like more of a shed outside, just so that less people. Oh, my bad. Just so that like criminals like were like, I'm not going in there.
That's exactly what I was like. Just knowing where you live. Like, I totally understand like being able to like have it kind of camouflaged.
Yeah.
Especially with what you have in there. I probably would have done the same thing. I would have been like, fuck that, I'm just gonna make this look as shitty as I can outside, because I know on inside it's gonna sound like amazing. So.
Yeah. So like all that's outside of it is just planks of wood and I put siding, which siding is just like for like rain and sun, so the wood won't deteriorate. I only put that like on like the most important parts, you know. And that took me from the couple of months beginning of this year was just working in Raytheon collecting money. It wasn't until and then this summer I've been working through camp. And actually, no, I started working on the studio last November.
Yeah, it was because that's when we first started talking about it. That's when you started the groundwork for everything.
Yeah. So it was last November, and I think like literally it got done on March. Like just covering all the walls with more like nice palette of wood.
Yeah. And
the flooring, like and the electricity, like all that got done by March. And then I was just like, okay, now it's time to
actually invest into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So starting like putting in furniture, making furniture, putting equipment in there. And so I think the first thing like I started putting in there was like shelves. I just made like more, like I just have the way how it was really cheap to make the shed because it was basically we tear down this other old shed that had all the wood and all that. We basically turned that down really gently. Like we're just, instead of like smashing everything, it was just taking out all the nails.
That way you can just repurpose the wood, right?
Yeah. So it was basically just moving that shed to the corner of the house. Oh, okay. And so, yeah, it was just like tearing it down, rebuilding it somewhere else. And so that's why it was really affordable to make that studio, because it was just old recycled wood. It was just time.
There wasn't like more money being put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
well, at the time, like for the base.
Yeah. And so I guess that was also what took a lot of the time was just tearing that old shed down. And then where was I getting with this?
I have no idea. I'm not in your brain.
No, sorry. No, so November I got started building it, tearing it down, and investing, which was like, again, I saved a lot of money just repurposing the wood.
Right.
And so it was just time. That's what I was gonna say. We still have so much wood, so much left over that like I was trying to use as much as I can. So I use some of it to make sheds. To make shelves. I used it to make little stools so I can put my fridge on top.
Yeah.
I used it like my other big project that I made was the table.
The table, yeah.
Yeah, so I use as much wood as I can to make that table.
How big is the table?
The table, I would say, it's like 3.5 by 5.5.
Okay.
So enough for at least to have 2 people on each side.
Yeah, so that way you can have like 8 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 people, 1 person on each side. And if you really want to cramp it up, then you could definitely fit 8.
Yeah.
Because the studio itself is not. It's not too big. It's like 16.5 by 16.5.
Wow, perfect
feet.
Square.
Yeah, a little literally a perfect square. And so so it wasn't like too hard. It was easy to keep in track of like that measurement.
Yeah.
I made shelves, stools, tables. The furniture that I bought was a lot of like secondhand stuff. I wasn't willing to buy.
See, that's exactly what I was telling you about it. I was like, I know, I personally know the want to get like that unison, nice, clean look.
Yeah, you did tell me that. Like, yeah, because I wanted to have like a white theme on it. I thought the color white would look good on like the really nice shiny wood and all that.
Yeah, like visually, I agreed. I was like, damn, that would look fucking sleek.
Yeah. But when it practically, not so money wise, if I want to get things like up and running soon, that was not it, because I think the couch that I wanted was like $400.
Jesus Christ!
And so I was just like, fuck, And instead, I just went on OfferUp and I bought a couch for like $40.
See,
10 times cheaper.
10 times cheaper, and it does the same thing that the $400 couch would have.
Yeah, it's a fucking comfortable couch, dude. I want to sleep in there sometimes.
Hey, man, if you're continuing to produce content, I can tell you right now, you're going to spend nights on that couch.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be nights that you're editing something or like you have this idea in your head that it'll just keep you up all night.
I passed out on that couch once and I was just like, I did not want to get up. It was still during the day. I'm like, I could just literally cancel all plans and I'm fine and I could be on this couch.
I can't tell you how many times I've been there, dude.
Yeah. And I think, it was just the couch. I just moved my television from my room into the studio. I hardly spend time in my room now. I hardly ever spend time in my room. My room is just there to keep my clothes, underwear, and my bed now.
Yeah, when I was out in LA, the only reason why I spent time in my room was because that's where my desk and computer was at.
Yeah.
Like, ever since I moved all my crap out here, the only time I'm ever spending time in the room is when I'm working on, like, if I'm writing something on my laptop or if I'm hanging out with B. Those are like the only 2 times. Other than that, like, I'm trying to be in the studio as much as I can. That way I can get all the stuff that we're currently working on up and running. Because, like, I just told you right before we started recording, it's a fuck ton of stuff.
It's a lot of work, dude. Like, so far, like, in that podcast studio or just the studio, like, I'm just focusing on podcasting, just audio wise.
Yeah.
and
that alone is super hard.
Yeah. And it's definitely, I think the hardest part is just getting people in. Like, you had a hard time getting me in here, which, like, I apologize. But yeah, it's just, like, being consistent.
That's the biggest thing, consistency.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, going forward, we moved our time slot to Wednesday.
Yeah.
Specifically because it just works better for my schedule.
Yeah.
And I've been able to kind of work around everyone else's. Because, like, I know a lot of people work flex schedules. Because that's kind of like the most, like, the modern way of scheduling. So it makes it easy where I can have multiple different people come in every single week. Because it's like 1 week someone will have a Wednesday off. Another week someone else will have a Wednesday off.
Oh, all right.
Like next week we're actually going to have Edwin Garcia come in.
All right, nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
He's all I've seen Edwin been doing like through his Snapchats is like Disneyland. A lot of Disneyland stuff.
Yeah, it's because he's with Myella now, and like they're super cute together.
Yeah, they are really. Yeah,
they're really good together.
Yeah.
But yeah, Edwin hasn't been on the podcast since like episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, I remember listening into that one. I remember hearing him.
So I'm super excited to bring in another old cast member.
Yeah.
Because that first episode actually had Jeremy, me, you, and Edwin.
That's a good group.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good group.
So shout out to Jeremy. He unfortunately passed away a little over, oh my God, a year and a half ago at this point.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, but shout out to Jeremy because he was awesome. He did a lot of stuff for the community. So shout out to him.
Damn. Yeah. Respects to that.
Yeah. But continuing off of what you're doing with your podcast stuff, how is your new podcast going?
It's good. I mean, again, it's small. I'm expecting to stay small for like the longest time. Yeah. I'm not really so focused on how many people are listening in or who's listening in. It's just like, again, like I'm doing it probably for like the same reason it's just fun.
Yeah.
It really is fun.
You're doing it for you.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, like it's fun. Like there's a lot of benefits to it now. Since I got started, like you kind of look back, at the conversations you have. Like it's like kind of like a memory book or something. Like that.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I love it. One of the things I've been doing with my grandparents is every time we have like deep conversations, I record it on my phone. That way I can have it like as an audio log. From when I'm older. And that's kind of the way that I look at these podcasts is like it's a way for me to kind of view my growth as a creator and as an individual. Because I can tell you I've grown so much since episode 1.
Yeah.
From a lot of different aspects. And that's why I enjoy doing it so much. So when I saw you start posting your stuff, I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. Like, I'm glad to see you beginning to create something with your own stuff because it's just fun. I mean, it's great being able to have people with different ideas and different views come in and talk. Yeah. Like last week, we had my friend Jay come in, and she was talking about like the local con community, talking about like her pirate stuff as well as like her Western stuff. Which, like a lot, like I know a lot of people might not even know was available in Tucson. Yeah. So like it's cool to go for that to kind of going back to you talking about games and like what you're doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it's that's one thing is too, like I really want to talk to like interesting people that I meet in time and all that. Like there's this one guy at Raytheon that I worked with. Probably not gonna mention his name, but.
He's interesting, but not that interesting.
Like and like just I guess just to keep him like I would just call him Mel.
All right, Mel. Thanks, Mel.
And he I just work on inspections, just looking at stuff.
Yeah.
And there was something that I need him to kind of look at to confirm for something, and so he had to come down to my area and we inspected this one part or piece, and that was it. Like that's all I needed him for. And he was a really cool guy when he was helping me out with that task. And then there was one night I went out walking to Reed Park, and I just see a bunch of people. What's it called when you're doing reenactments of like the LARPing? There you go. I saw a lot of people LARPing at Reed Park. I never knew that existed here in Tucson.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
There's actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's 3 big LARPing groups. There's a medieval LARPing group that goes to Reed Park. There's also like a futuristic LARPing group.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty.
They're like based out in like Catalina Foothill area.
All right. Yeah.
And then there's like a smaller like steampunk one that like goes to Reed Park.
That's some really cool fucking themes.
And I think it's like not Mount Lemon, but the other big mountain. No.
Is it something in
Saguaro National Park?
Oh, okay. And yeah, so I just see a bunch of people LARPing, or there were. It was late night, kind of around like 9ish, I would say. So they're already like packing up at this point.
Towards the end.
Yeah, so they're packing up, and I was just like, you know what? Like, that looks pretty cool. I've seen it on television, and like, I'm pretty interested. Like, I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah.
And I start talking to a few of these guys there, and yeah, they were telling me all about it. Like when they do it, like everybody there, like in who does it, they're really pretty, like open people. Like they're really friendly people, for sure. And they're like, oh well, let me introduce you to like the like who manages all these events. And next thing I know, it's Melv who comes out, and I'm just like,
wow.
Like Melv, he's like, Balt? And I'm like, hey, dude, like, I remember you from Raytheon. I'm like, yeah, we're working on that one thing, et cetera, et cetera. And so he was telling me everything about it, and that's like one person I want to get into my studio.
Dude, that'd be really cool to get him in as an interviewee. To just talk about like what he does in Tucson. Yeah. Because that's one of the reasons why I loved having Jay on, was mainly to kind of put out there that there's so many different communal groups that do so many different things in Tucson. Because I didn't know that there were so many different groups until I started speaking to a lot more of my friends, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally into this." And I'm like, "How the fuck did you get into that?" Yeah. So that's really cool that you actually have like first connection to the guy who like organizes that stuff. Yeah. Because then you have like all the information in the world.
Yeah. Because like he was telling me a lot like camps that he goes to, where everybody goes to LARP and all that. They're like they're a big community that's part of a much bigger community. One. Yeah. And so he was telling me all about that, getting in depth with it. He was showing me his like cool armor too, like that he made, like that. He said like you don't even have to LARP, you don't have to battle. You could just do the arts and crafts part, which is basically like
crafting things for everyone else.
Yeah. And I was just like, dude, like, yeah, there's more into LARPing than just like, like fighting. There's
and like it actually comes back to the thing that I said last week, where it's like a lot of people don't understand the amount of work and heart that goes into a lot of these things. Yeah. Like they only see the outside, like the very front of what is there, and they criticize it immediately. It's like I know so many people who are like, look at those fucking nerds LARPing. Like, they think they're in a fantasy world. It's like, well, it's... Yeah. It's like, it's so much more than just that. Like, it's people being able to come together, like, to create something fun for everyone.
Yeah. And like, I get it, dude. Like, I thought the thought of the idea of LARPing, like, I was just like, this is a cool way of just kind of escaping, just getting away from like reality. Yeah, and like just, real life. Being like, and just going with, like, again, being what you said earlier, just like having fun with everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's everyone kind of has their own way of escaping, right? Like, for instance, I'm gonna hit a stereotype. Typical man, right? Mm-hmm. You think sports and like wrestling. Yeah. Right? Like, those are the two, like, ooh. But they are escaping from reality by playing a game, right? Like, they're fixated on, like, stats and all that. Yeah. Well, on the flip side, if you're not into sports, or if you're not into anything that's like that, you have to find your own little outlet. Yeah. So whether that be video games, storytelling, arts and crafts, or whatever, that's just your own little gateway. So it's kind of frustrating for me when I hear a lot of people criticizing others for what they're into. Yeah. Granted, I know I'm a total hypocrite, and I always make fun of sports people. Yeah. But underneath my criticism, I'm like, listen, at least they're enjoying what they're enjoying. Yeah. It's like the same thing with makeup. Like, I'm not a big thing of makeup, but like, I appreciate the people who love it.
Yeah, I have to. I do have to put myself on the spot for that, because I do criticize people on doing makeup. I'm like, how the fuck are these people being so big for just doing makeup? Like, are girls having problems, or even other guys having problems putting on makeup? Like, do they just need that much advice?
Well, see, I don't know. I honestly, I felt that way for a really long time until I took a step back and thought about it from a producer standpoint. Yeah, it's not that people don't necessarily know, it's that people have never experienced it. Yeah. Right? Like, so say for instance, like Jeffree Star is a good example. Yeah. He's woo.
Yeah, I heard huge, that he got like what, a $20 million contract, something like that.
That's insane. Yeah. But so he gets access to a lot of different makeup things in the industry, right? Yeah. That maybe someone who's living in a 2-bedroom apartment with their parents will never get to experience, right?
Yeah. All right.
But he's showcasing what it is or what it looks like for those people. That's when I kind of realized, like, okay, those videos definitely aren't for me, but I shouldn't be criticizing those people making those videos for people who want to watch it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things that I learned as a producer is to look at something and take a step back and realize, why are they making that? What are they making it for? Mm-hmm. Granted, there's definitely a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm just making this for myself, which I totally get. But also it's like, maybe that's not the only reason why someone's making something.
Okay.
Like for me, like, yes, the podcast is definitely something that I want to make. And yes, the upcoming shows that are going to be coming out in January are something that I want to make. But I also feel like that's something that a lot of my friends want to watch. That's something that a lot of the people that we're currently involved with want to watch. So that's why I'm kind of hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that when we do launch in January, that people will be at least a little bit interested, because there's a lot of work that is going into this. Yeah. But long story short, just I appreciate those makeup YouTubers, makeup artists, because there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah, and also like I also thought about it, like it's just another way of art. It's just another art. Type of art.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, look at VFX artists, man. Like, you can argue makeup VFX artists. Like,
that is also true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think so. Like, there was this, like, it's mostly, I see this one lady on Snapchat who does it in a really dark room, so like all the other like black makeup can kind of camouflage in the background, and she does like these weird looking effects. Like she was able to like paint her body where it looks like it's like doing like a 360 twist.
Whoa!
And because like she put a lot of black on this side, so it looks like she's a lot skinnier when it looks like when her body twists. You know,
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, like.
Yeah, VFX are one of my favorite things. Yeah. I actually got me and B every few weeks. Do you know who Corridor Digital is?
No.
They're an old YouTube group. They've been around for a long time.
Okay.
But they've created a VFX artists react series. Yeah. So they essentially react to like special effects.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I know what you were talking about. Yeah. So, I watched them.
Yeah, I love watching them because I'm a huge movie buff, as everyone knows. And I love being able to see or like having them pick out certain things that I've picked out before in a movie. Yeah. But also being able to like learn from them, because I mean those guys do it for hours on end. Yeah. Like that's their job. So it's really cool to see how they can like pinpoint like minuscule details. Yeah. It's like totally insane.
Yeah. There were some things that like I couldn't capture with my eyes with that they can, and they talk about like, you know, lighting. I'm just like, dude, I could not even fathom. I can't think the way how they think.
Hopefully one day you'll get into lighting, because I mean that's part of just editing in general. Yeah. Especially for like, again, some of the videos that we're planning on doing. Maybe one of these days I can show you like how to change the dynamic lighting and stuff like that, because it's a lot of fun being a producer, being able to learn like what are the things that I can do to manipulate the video to make it look the way that I want it to. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the Corridor stuff, go to, I think it's Corridor Crew is the YouTube channel that they post the VFX videos to. They're really good. They also do stunt fights and stuff like that. Yeah. They'll get like stunt fighters, like the big name stunt choreographers, to sit in and like talk about like certain fight scenes and stuff like that. Damn. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Shout out to Corridor Digital.
Yeah, I like my favorite videos from them is like when they try to do or like change like fighting scenes into like rated R scenes. Yeah. Or some like movie, like some like physics where it should, instead of hurting the person, it should actually like obliterate them. And they're it's awesome because I love physics and they get physics. And like I was wondering, like, that's actually pretty true. Yeah, with like that,
the amount of force.
Yeah. And so like they made Home Alone rated R.
Did you see the John Wick one? Like the extreme John Wick?
No.
It's like I think it's the scene from the first movie where they're like beginning to invade his house. they go in and like the muzzle flashes are like all intense. Like he shoots the camera and there's just like a blood splatter. He shoots through the wall and like the wall explodes. It's so stupid. I love it. It's really funny though.
Intensified it.
Yeah. But I think one of my favorite corridor digital videos is probably. Do you remember I think it came out in like 2010 or 2009.
Wow, they're that old.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
They were part of Freddie W.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But I think it's the one where they have multiple lives, where they do that replay thing where it's like they have like their arm shows like 4 different lives, and like when one dies, I think it's like unlinked or something like that. Because like one character will die, you come in as a new character. The first character still does exactly what it does, but you as the second character can manipulate what's happening.
Oh,
it's actually really cool. I'm not sure if you've seen that video, but you'll have to check it out.
The one I liked from them a lot was hilarious, where like he says, "Okay, everything's all quiet. I'm gonna save here." As soon as he takes a step, he gets obliterated.
Yeah.
He comes back again, so he dies over and over again because of that save point.
Oh shit!
Yeah, their videos are awesome. It's such a shame that like. One of the things that I love and hate about YouTube is just how much content is on the platform.
Yeah.
But then we forget about like really cool videos like that.
Yeah. YouTube is really overpopulated now with content.
It's a shame. I mean, we're putting our stuff on YouTube now. I mean, I know I've talked about this before. I still have a huge gripe with YouTube. Just a lot of my own personal reasons.
Yeah.
But I do understand as the audience how important YouTube is as a platform, which is the reason why we've moved all of our stuff to YouTube. The podcast is actually going to be on YouTube as well. If you guys haven't checked it already, our YouTube channel has all 48 episodes of the podcast already.
Oh, wow.
So it's all in video format, but it's just still audio.
Okay.
And hopefully, eventually, we'll get to a point where we can actually make a video podcast because I feel like that'd be really cool.
That would be awesome. Like that's where I'll like to get to as well. It's just like
I feel like it'd be hard in your studio.
It's I think I found I figured out a way how to do it. Like the thing, again that sucks is space.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be fancy cameras. It's just gonna be webcams. As well,
yeah, but even with webcams, man, things are being shot at 1080.
Yeah,
these fucking webcams right here, those are 4K cameras.
Holy shit! Okay, yeah, because even and I'm not too worried about like getting the high end thing too, because as of right now, like most platforms are just being the highest they can go is 1080.
Yeah, and honestly, like I'm not sure if you know, but like for streaming stuff, you doing it in 1280 by 720 is perfect. Like you don't really have to do much other than that, because then if you like scale it up to 1080, it still looks perfectly fine. Yeah. So we're not going to get to a point where like having 4K truly matters. Yeah. So in terms of like video and stuff like that, like I'm totally with you. Like I'm probably going to shoot all my stuff in 1280 by 720 because especially if it's compressed going through YouTube. Yeah. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. And I when it comes to video podcasts, I think all I would use is 2 cameras. If I ever have to do to the point where we're playing tabletop games, board games, then that's when I'm gonna have to use a third and have a ceiling camera.
For that. Ideally, if we ever did it, I would love to be able to just have one Steadicam. Yeah. That way, it can be like, hopefully, like say for instance, the camera would be at that corner of the table, right? Yeah. The 4 of us or 5 of us can be at this end. That way it's just all in one shot. Yeah. That way everyone can kind of see like the interactions with each other. That's the way I would love to be able to do it one day. Yeah. But
it's definitely definitely a slow process. As much as I want to go fast, like I can't, know. And it's fine. Like right now, like I'm comfortable like what I'm doing and all that, like no rush. Like I even told myself, like I'm good where I'm at, because, it's fun. Just basically, just talking, getting friends in, just hanging out. We even just like drink beers while we're talking. It's just mainly just hanging out. And just the only difference is just you have mics in front of you and you're recording. That's it. And So yeah, that's like where I'll like to get to as well in a point in the future. And again, like I keep telling myself is like, I don't care how many people watch it or like how big it gets. If it stays small, it stays small, you know. It's just I like entertaining like that
people.
many few
Yeah.
people.
No,
you know?
dude, I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting because we have two very different outlooks on that. Because like for me, it's I want to make sure that I'm engaging people.
Yeah.
Because yes, don't get me wrong, I love doing this for me, but also my primary objective is to entertain people.
Yeah.
So if there's more people being able to listen and more people engaging, then that I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Because this is what I would love to be able to do full time, is to create content. It's just, you know, because we don't make money off of it, it's extremely difficult to.
Yeah.
But hopefully with this next year coming up, I have a lot of stuff in the works. And hopefully, you know, if you're listening to this now, hopefully you guys can support us in some way. Again, we're launching a lot of stuff in January, so keep a lookout for that on our website as well as my social media, because there's going to be some really fun stuff on the way.
Yeah.
And if you guys like it, you guys got to let us know. That way we can continue making it.
Nice. Yeah. Like I really like, I can't wait until you guys post up your like D&D videos. That I can't wait.
Yeah, it's
like,
going to be a lot of fun.
Because like I watch other people play D&D, and like especially coming from you, like when I see people like familiar people that I know play it, it's that much better. Like I can't wait to watch when you guys post up.
And I think it's because it's the personal connection. You're like, oh fuck, I know these people, so it brings a different dynamic to it. Because I know that's something that, you know, a lot of fans of like Critical Role or Harmon Quest want to attain, is like, oh, like they love the characters that they're playing and they feel like they have a very strong connection to them, which I get, you know, like any YouTuber as well. I think something to remember is, you know, they are there to entertain you guys and they are doing their best. Don't forget that, you know, you aren't necessarily their close friend.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of audience members tend to forget, especially online. I've seen so many people online like being like, you know, you tore my heart out because you made this decision or yada yada. Like super hardcore, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes people tend to forget that it's like it's a show. It's there to entertain you. Yeah. Even though the people themselves are genuinely good people, you can't pretend like you're their friend. Yeah. And then pretend like what their action is like hurts you directly. Like you got to be a little disassociated between like yourself and the individual.
Yeah.
But you know, on the flip side, it is good for, you know, to have real life connections. Yeah. Like if you are genuinely their friend, like that's one thing, but don't like put this in your mind that you're their friend just because they're interacting with you. That's something that I learned early on, thanks to a couple of my friends in the past, is like, you gotta disassociate. That way you don't hurt yourself. Cause that's primarily what it is. It's like, you're setting yourself up to get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so like I have a couple of people that I met out in Austin, and you know, there's a few that I was like, hey, you know, nice meeting you. It was nice hanging out. Yeah. Yada yada yada. There's some other people who were like bugging me, and I was like, I don't know you on a personal, like I haven't even messaged you before this instance. Like, why are you wanting to try to hang out? Like those are the instances where it's like it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so when I posted up pictures, when I moved everything into the studio, and I posted pictures on Facebook, a lot of people started jumping in and commenting and liking it, which is cool. But like, I put out there, like, if anybody wants to, you know, talk, podcast, you know, just chill, leave a comment, just tell me that you want to, you know. Right. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting these random ass friend requests. Yeah, and I was just like, all right. I accepted one, you know, and then all of a sudden, first thing he does is like, I want in. You know, I'm like,
you're like, I don't even know you.
Yeah, and I literally commented, and it's like, just to kind of. I'm just this type of guy. I like putting people on the spot, and I'm just like, is this why you sent me a friend request like 5 minutes ago? And I left it as that. And I'm just like, and I didn't know the guy that well. Apparently he knows me. I don't know the guy.
Yeah, and that's a weird thing for me too. I can totally relate to that. Like posting a lot of stuff in the past, like getting weird ass friend requests from people who, one, I know for a fucking fact hated me in high school.
Shit.
Yeah. And my immediate reaction is usually sending a message and being like, hey, do I know you? How can I help you? Or something like that. And a lot of times they'll just be like, oh, I know you from high school. Just thought I'd, send you a friend request. And I just leave it like that. Because I'm like, why the fuck would you ever do that? Like, for me, having social media is a way to connect with people that you know. Yeah. Or at least have an intention to, like, get to know. Yeah. So, like, for me, I just thought that was fucking weird. And I'm like, screw you. Yeah. Like, what even is this?
Yeah, and it's mostly, like, I get weirded out when it's, what do you call... you have a lot of it in high school, like people that you know but you don't really talk to. Acquaintances.
Oh, acquaintances, yeah.
There you go. I would get acquaintances and send me friend requests, and I'm just like, you've never spoke to me. Like, are you gonna all of a sudden start talking to me?
Yeah, I think the weirdest thing, I don't know if it's a social thing, but it's like, wouldn't you rather send the message first? Before sending the friend request, because that's what I would probably do first. I'd be like, hey, so and so, I'm yada yada yada. I knew you in high school, or I heard about you in high school, but never really got to know you. It'd be nice to know you, like get to know you.
That would be more effective than just like boop, a friend request or the annoying like wave.
Yeah. What? Don't even get me started on that shit.
When I get like a notification like this person waved at you, I'm like, hi.
You're like
too.
My mind's like, why?
Why?
I'm like, is this 2009?
Yeah. Like to me, it's just like I also get a little bit annoyed. I'm like, are you that lazy just to not say how's it going?
Yeah, like to strike a conversation. Yeah, like it's kind of weird to me.
Yeah. So I'm just like, nah, I'm not dealing with that.
He's not about that life.
Yeah. Unless like if it's a close friend, like he waves, I'm like, okay, he needs something. You know? He's waving like for someone who I actually talk to, like at least weekly.
Well, like, at that point, you would be able to understand like the reason why.
Mm-hmm. Like you will have chemistry with the person. Like anybody who I have chemistry with, I'm like, okay, he needs something, And, but no, that's. I get annoyed when it comes to acquaintances, and also people who there's just one person who would send me like really personal stuff, and I'm just like,
oh dude, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you mean, and it makes you feel weird because like you want to help, but then it's like it's an awkward conversation.
Yeah. To me, it's just like, I don't know where you really are coming from. And it's just more like, I am not the right person that you should be talking to. If anything, you need to talk to your parents. You need to find someone else who's been talking to you more than I ever have, And it's just like, there's not really much I can really tell that person. And that's the only awkward parts of I've experienced in Facebook.
Yeah. And it'll definitely happen more too. Like especially if you kind of jump into a lot of our stuff, you're gonna get a little bit more of that just because for some reason it just happens that way. Yeah. But
the good parts I've experienced so far is just like, hey, you made me laugh. I like your
those are the best
stuff.
responses. Yeah. Like the being able to get like a like on our YouTube channel, or like just having people like review the podcast or something. By the way, we have 5 stars on iTunes. By the way,
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, what?
That's cool.
I mean, I wish Spotify had like a rating system because that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, iTunes does have a rating system. Yeah. My stuff is not like I have so much difficult problems with like Apple stuff. I'm sorry.
In terms of what?
Like, I remember like a long ass time ago, dude. When I was trying to, get I got an iPhone. I was trying to get it up and running. But
didn't I give you an iPhone at one point?
You did give me like an iPhone 4. You gave me, and that one didn't work just because provider wise.
Yeah, it was blocked. So,
and then, but like other times, I would have one, and I would say like, all right, like sign into your iTunes account. And I'm like, I don't know my password. Like I forgot. It's been a while. Forgot password. Send me like I'm expecting like send it to my email and I'll restart password. And
which like, it usually happens.
Yeah,
like that.
And instead they're like, no, we're gonna send it to your phone number. What's your phone number? I'm like, I can't.
That's
like
weird.
Yeah, like I can't use my phone number because I'm trying to activate my phone right now.
Hold on, but were you? That's weird. I've never had that issue before.
I don't know, dude. It's something like I couldn't. It was so hard to get to reboot like or restart a password. I'm not sure if I was just lost or I didn't know what I was doing or I don't know.
My thing is 90% of issues are user error.
I don't blame it. It probably is. I'm not gonna blame Apple. I just don't know how to use it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And so I just switched to Android, Samsung, and all that. And to me, it works best just because I have PC and like just the files format just works well.
It's much easier.
Yeah, like I don't really understand the war between like Apple and Android.
Thank you for saying that because it makes no sense to me either.
It doesn't. To me, it's just like, okay, if you have a MacBook, you will just buy an Apple phone. Yeah. If you have a MacBook and get an iWatch and all that because it works together.
It's all in it's the ecosystem. Is what it is. Like everything works with each other.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. Like the Android stuff works perfectly fine with PC.
Yeah.
And there is always a workaround for both things too. Because I mean, I have a MacBook. I also have a PC. I now I have a Samsung tablet now, and like it's easy to transfer files once you understand how to transfer files. Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah,
and like I never understood like, well, the Galaxy's way better. Yeah. It's like what? Yeah. Like it does the exact same thing as the other phone.
Exactly.
Granted, the big difference is like Android is more like customizable.
Yeah,
like. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, you have a few more functionalities, but, like, are they practical? Like, how many people do you truly know who use the split screen function on their phones?
Dude, no, I don't. Like, I have the... I have the Note 9, and I'm just like... That stays on the computer.
Yeah,
exactly.
That
function should just stay on the computer. Like, cool that exists.
Right.
But I'm not gonna use it.
Right, and that's my biggest thing. Like when I'm talking to people who are hardcore Android users, they're like, "Yeah, but can you do this?" I'm like, "Yeah." When do you use that?
Yeah. How When are you gonna YouTube and like Spotify at the same time?
It's just a matter of which one works with you best. If one works for you better, and like with the whole ecosystem thing, if it works good for you, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not hurting anyone. Like. Yeah. I mean, like, I like iPhone, and honestly, the reason why I enjoy the Apple interface for phones in particular, it's straightforward.
Yeah.
There's no bullshit. It's clean as fuck. You know where everything is. I don't need to customize anything, and I like that.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure. Because like the Apple was made for, from what I've heard, it was made for like business people.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That's what it was designed for.
Yeah.
It was designed for. Oh shit! What's the word I want? Not consistency.
It was like simplicity.
Well, simplicity, but also what's like the shorter distance to get to one place to another? The efficiency.
Oh, okay.
The idea was just to have everything efficient for you to have.
Yeah.
And that's like for me, like all of my stuff. Granted, yes, I use third-party software for a lot of my things, but I have it connected to everything that I own. Yeah. That way, if I'm working on my phone, I can work on my computer, I can work on my MacBook, I can work on my tablet. That way, like everything's interchangeable.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of what the argument is here. Is like we're now at a point where it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Because everything's connected.
Yeah. Like you can connect Apple and Android to like to your smart lights or to your smart house, whatever, and all that. It will still use the same Bluetooth devices.
Right.
So for like, the smartwatches, like that's the only thing. Unless like, of course, the Galaxy Watch to stay with the Galaxy and the Apple Watch to stay with Apple. But like, you know, like they both can use Garmin. They could both use Fitbit, stuff like that. Like it doesn't matter. You'll still get the same amount of benefit. It's just like
it depends. It just depends on what you're doing, and that's why I never understood it. But you just got that watch, right?
I got it a little bit in the beginning of this year, and just because I was just like, you know what, I want to get the most out of my devices. Yeah, basically, that's basically it. Like I bought the earbuds too, the Galaxy earbuds, and those are pretty cool. Because the phone has the app for the earbuds. And yeah, I mean, honestly, this watch does the same thing as the iWatch. I would say that the iWatch is better. Just resolution, it has better resolution. And I think it's just a little bit more faster. It's a lot smoother, easy to navigate through it.
I've tried using a digital watch, like a smartwatch. I don't like them. I get why other people do. I totally get it. I can't do something on that small of a screen.
Yeah. I'm starting, well, I could easily fix it. Notifications is what pisses me off.
Bing, bing, bing.
I kind of miss having just a watch and just cool. My phone will deal with all the notifications.
Do you get to the point where like now like you want to look at the time, but you're like scroll.
Yeah. I did fall into that trap.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those. It's a too much of a good thing type of thing.
Yeah, and now, but I do use it for fitness though, for sure. Like I got back into
cycling.
Cycling. Specifically road biking, not really mountain biking. And just because like I was trying to run, like to kind of just to stay healthy and fit. And when I would do 3 miles at the average, you know.
Damn.
Yeah. And but my legs started to hurt like bad. Like my ankles were hurt, my knees would hurt. And it wouldn't be like, oh, your muscles are sore. Like, no, it's like the joints that are like getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And so like I invested in a bike because I mean that's what like not like no hate on the old community, but that's what like elderly folks do is they ride bikes most of the time because
it builds the muscle.
Yeah. And it's no impact on their joints. On their legs. Yeah. So I started biking and I started cycling like from home to work, you know, and work back home.
That's a fucking...
It's a ride.
Yeah, that's a ride.
It is definitely a ride. It's from my house to Rita. That's 11 miles.
Holy balls, dude!
Yeah, and so 11 miles back as well. So it's
you're
total
doing 22 miles a day. That's nuts.
Like, and I use my watch for that. You know, like, all right, start cycling now. Keep track of everything, how fast I'm going is like that, and like that's what I liked. I like the watch for.
See, that's why I want to get you and my roommate on a podcast together. Yeah. Speaking of a roommate, he's coming in right now.
Oh shit!
Because he does the same thing. I know you were talking to George prior about like the biking thing.
Yeah.
And like now that you're doing it as a commute, like I feel like it'd be a lot of fun to have you and George talk about that.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I call it, so it's definitely, I'm doing it to kill. Yeah, I spend more time traveling to get to work and get back.
Yeah, how long does it take you to
go? To get to Rita, it will take me 50 minutes, especially now since it's getting cold.
Oof. 50-minute commute.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
And I mean, it's not that bad until like, as long as you can pop in some headphones, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what helps out a lot. It's just, you know, putting some music on and just focus.
Like kind of. I mean, it's kind of like because it is a workout.
Yeah.
So it's essentially the same thing. Like once you kind of get in the groove, like you just go.
Yeah. And then it takes me a good 40 to 45 minutes at the most to get back home, just because
you're going at a decline.
More decline. Yeah, it's a 300 feet difference.
Wow, is it really?
So to get from my house to Rita, it's 330 feet difference.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's not that bad of a slope when you're spreading it.
Yeah, like over 11 miles.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. You definitely feel it though.
Yeah, eventually I do notice it like from both and going from both directions.
Right.
And yeah, it takes more time to travel, but I'm killing two birds with one stone at that point, because after work I would try to go to the gym, and hit the treadmill, do a little bit of weights, and that would take me so much time, because I have to get changed, drive over there, work out, shower, drive back home, and rest.
Yeah, whereas this, you're essentially, because I'm assuming with a car, your commute was only 15 minutes?
Exactly. Yeah. You got it.
So you have half an hour, but if you just multiply that by 4, you're doing your workout as you go to work.
Yeah.
By the time you get home, you have the exhaustion from work plus your second workout of the day. Yeah. So I can imagine you just being like, you know what, I feel good from being able to do that already. Yeah. I'm sure George feels the same way, where it's you have that exercise, you feel, it's that weird tired goodness.
Yeah. I would say it's two different feelings when I do it. When I get to work, my endorphins are kicking in, and I'm ready to
start the day. Let's go.
Yeah, but when it's time when I get back home after the second bike ride, I want to pass out.
You're I'm done.
Yeah. And I'm kind of thinking about doing El Tour.
Nice, dude. That'd be cool.
I think the most I will ever register for El Tour is 50. That's probably the most. That's me pushing myself.
Damn, dude. That'd be.
Yeah.
I feel like you can do more than that, though.
Maybe, yeah.
Because when is that? That's
this November 27th is this month.
Oh, that's coming up. Oh, okay, then never
mind. So again, probably 50 is just to try it.
Yeah.
I probably would do that.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, what day is it?
The 27th of November, I think.
Okay.
Or no, maybe it's the weekend before that. I know it's definitely the weekend before Thanksgiving.
You have to let me know. That way I can see if I can get some good shots of you.
Nice.
Doing the thing.
For sure. That's, again, I still have to register. And so, again, I have to get the balls to register.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, and it's also just the cost.
Yeah. What's the buy-in?
I think right now it would be $100. But that's my best guess.
Yeah.
Because I know I also registered for another event, not for cycling, but I signed up for Tough Mudder.
The is it the run, right? The mud run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's on December 7th. It's 10 miles, but it's not really about running. It's mainly just doing all the obstacles and all that. Just because once when you hit an obstacle, you have to wait your turn until everybody does and all that. So you could take your time when it comes to traveling from the next checkpoint.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I think it's 10 miles, 20 obstacle courses, and I'm gonna do it with a few Raytheon buddies.
That's gonna be really cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah, and then they told me about it. I'm like, I want to do it. I'm we have hotel and a ride. You just have to sign up. We're volunteering.
And then I'd be like, yeah, take my money.
Mm-hmm. So registration was $100 for that one. Mm-hmm. But I just got an email saying today, hey, you can volunteer and we'll give you 80% discount if you volunteer half of the day.
Oh, so they'll give you a rebate?
Yeah. So, and that's what my Raytheon buddies are doing anyway. So I'm just all right, yeah, I'll just volunteer and just go run with them, So I'll probably I still have to register that either tonight or tomorrow.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude, the obstacles are pretty cool. I'm not sure if you
I've seen it because my mom and my aunts go all the time.
Yeah.
It looks so much fun.
Yeah.
My thing is I would like to.
Yeah.
I don't know if my schedule allows me to.
No, yeah, it's all
that's
about,
my biggest
thing.
Yeah,
for sure. I don't blame you. Scheduling is definitely a big part. Thank God, to me, it lands on a weekday.
Yeah.
I mean, weekend, and and also cost is the biggest.
Yeah,
thing,
it's another thing
because it's in Phoenix, which I could easily just drive over there early morning and get back.
Yeah,
the same day. But my buddies are no, we're gonna get there Friday. We're gonna get there.
They're gonna make it a weekend thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I heard that after that it's an after party. You get a free beer once you accomplish everything.
Yeah, it was after you exert all your energy. Yeah. Hey, let's have some sugar.
Yeah, so I would definitely record that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool
on my watch. I probably would not bring my phone because I know I'm gonna get wet and muddy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be left behind.
That's really cool. Buddy, have you ever done something like that?
Like a mud run or anything?
or a walkathon or anything.
What about like a cancer walk?
I gotta go.
He's like, no, I have not.
No.
I mean, they're really cool. I really enjoyed going to, not necessarily those in particular, but like just going to like weekend like events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about like the LARPing thing. Like I wish that I had the time to commit to something like that.
Yeah.
Because I would love to like make my own character, go in, enjoy the community, but it's like it's an investment.
Yeah.
And I can't. It hurts me because I can't invest into that.
Yeah.
But I know that I would go all out.
Yeah, that's when I start getting mad or I'm just like, 24 hours is not enough time in a day.
Yep.
I think it should be like 36 hours in a day. I mean, like hopefully we can like sleep for 8 and be awake for the other 26 hours.
Yeah.
28. Yeah.
But honestly, like if there's just a few more hours in the day, I would love it.
Yeah,
I would get so much more done.
Yeah, that's all I complain about. I'm just like the sun sets too soon. Like I can't get everything that I want to do done.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, like, dude, telling me right now, like this week, I'm so stressed out just trying to figure stuff out for this weekend. Like getting like talking to people. To ask them like, what time are you going to get here? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Does this time work for you?
Yeah,
I don't know. Well, you got to
me.
tell
I hate those people. What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah, like
no.
What frustrates me even more is like, well, you tell me when to come. It's like, okay, like I need to know what your availability is. Yeah. And then it's like, if you tell me that you're available all day, then I'm gonna want you all day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I hate that when people are saying like, I don't know, like what time do you want me to come over? I'm like, you better agree to what I'm gonna say then. If you say like, oh, I can't do that, like why couldn't you fucking tell me?
It's like I can do anything. What about this time? Oh yeah, I can't do that time.
Yeah, like all right, bastard.
Yeah, but yeah, because like so this week is Extra Life. God, we're super excited for this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a representative from TMC. Her name is Tessa.
Really?
Come in this year. We're going to interview her live on stream just so that she can kind of go over where all of the proceeds go.
Yeah.
How TMC uses the donation money and stuff like that. So I'm super excited for that. We're going to have my cousins who are TMC children. They've gone to TMC multiple times. We're going to have them on the show. There's gonna be a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah.
So if you're here for it,
I'm excited.
We're probably gonna get pelted with paintballs.
What the fuck? Oh shit! I'm okay. Well, what time? That's what I mean. It depends.
So
like,
the wheel.
Oh
shit! Wheel.
You guys are bringing the wheel.
We're bringing the wheel. The wheel comes out around 4:00. 4 p.m.
The wheel. I mean, I hate the wheel.
No, we're the same way. We love to hate the wheel.
Yeah. It's a real love-hate relationship with that wheel.
Well, for you, like, what's your availability for it?
Again, it's all depends on if I get overtime.
Oh, right.
So overtime for me will start usually from 6 to 12.
Okay.
So that would be where I probably won't be available, most likely.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because then you'll be here perfectly in time for the wheel.
Yeah. Oh shit. So like that's just an idea. Like if honestly, there's most likely will be overtime. There's just a lot of work going.
I'm just assuming that you'll probably be here in the afternoon.
Yeah. And then after that, all yours, dude.
All yours. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Baltazar is all ours. Right. Buddy's been mine for the last 5 years. Yeah. He's dealt with the trauma.
Listen, we don't talk. I wouldn't call it trauma.
Yeah.
But,
I would.
I'm sorry.
Nice.
Like I'm honestly like Balfour. Like I've been waiting for like November to come. I always like I don't really look forward. Like I love Thanksgiving. I love the eating part. But like definitely like this is where I'm like, oh shoot, it's getting close.
This is the big season essentially for us. So I'm like I'm nervous. I'm excited.
I see this more as a holiday for me.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
it's super fun, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm super stoked that we're working alongside TMC with this.
Yeah.
So like Tessa and we've been working with like local Tucson gamers as well.
Yeah.
So like this past weekend was the big game day. So like I had made a video and like wrote a couple of articles for them to get them super excited about last weekend. And then I had another newsletter just go out this past week regarding our stuff. So hopefully we'll get a lot of those guys who were trying to raise money this past weekend on our stream. That way, they can kind of hype us up.
Yeah. And weren't you like your guys' group like number one?
Yep. Last year we were number one in Tucson.
Yeah.
We were number 3 in Arizona.
That's big.
In Arizona, we were the number 3 team.
Wow.
Yeah, I cried.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because we raised $2,700 last year.
You guys surpassed your guys' goal. Right?
Oh yeah, dude.
20.
Our goal was like $2,000 last year.
Yeah. And then I remember just watching the last few minutes. You guys were just like
they were just
exhausted. We're like, woo.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that last stretch is rough, but hopefully this year we'll have a couple of things in store that will kind of keep the energy going.
Yeah.
Last year I didn't have as many energy drinks, so I know this year I'm gonna have to. Because that last like hour and a half, I was like, oh god,
yeah,
I want to die.
I definitely probably take a little 30-minute naps.
Yeah, we're also going to have the studio. We're going to have 2 beds in there.
Yeah.
So, throughout the day, if you guys need to take a nap, that'll be available to you guys.
Yeah. Because sleep is still important.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be up.
I know you
through,
will.
But, and Buddy was up all 24 hours last year, too.
No, for sure. You are a trooper in every single event, for sure.
I think there was only 3 or 4 people who were up the entire time last year. Damn. That was me, Buddy, Kirsty, and my brother?
Brother, yeah, your brother.
Yeah, I think definitely. It was us 4 were the only ones who stayed up all 24 hours.
Fuck, dude.
So, and I've been up all 24 hours ever since I started.
So, it starts Saturday, what time?
It starts Saturday, November 9th at 6 a.m. and ends Sunday, November 10th
Dang,
at
that's
6
literally when I start working. Jeez.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, if you're at work and you're like,
dude,
go check
honestly,
these guys out.
Yeah, I probably will put that find the stream at work because all I'm doing is just on the computer.
Yeah, and on Saturday, for those who follow me on social media, all day that Saturday, I'm going to be sharing the link. It's going to be like every hour or so. We're going to be sharing the links. We're going to be broadcasting on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, our website, and another platform. I can't remember what it is. But we're going to be available for you guys in any way that you watch live streams. We're also going to have a live chat on all of those platforms. So if you guys want to just jump in the chat, ask us questions, do whatever, you're more than welcome to do that. We highly recommend it for when we're going to have the children on stream. Because during that time, they're probably going to be doing something to me.
Oh, shit.
Maybe based on your recommendations. So definitely tune in. I believe that's going to be around 9 a.m. on that Saturday. So there's going to be a lot of different programming throughout the day that we have set up. Every hour, there's going to be something interesting. So
nice. No, I can't wait. It's really fun. I just like how you guys definitely throw in stuff that will how would I say that will that will screw us in a good way, but it will just make it. It's just a night. I have so many stories basically to tell about from your guys from the past events that you guys have done. I remember we used the fucking dog cage as the prison cell.
The dog cage was a fun year, dude.
Oh my god, we fit in 3 people in.
No,
there.
we had 4 people in there. It was dude. It was me, you, my brother, and Esther.
Oh my god, no!
I remember that.
I remember that. Oh, that was
that was funny.
Yeah,
because then I think that was the year that Kirsty got a ketchup face mask thing or whatever. Everyone jumped into the pool that year when it was fucking cold.
Oh shit! You did it.
Me and Jonathan.
Yeah. And that was 2 years ago. Last year was a lot of fun too. I mean, there's a lot of different clips. When me and Jonathan threw the pies in each other's face.
Dang. So I would expect it won't end until 6 o'clock.
Correct.
Sunday.
Correct. We're gonna have full entertainment all the way through.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my girlfriend will probably check it out. And
I hope so. Yeah.
Fucking make me do something, if anything. I'll hate her. I'll hate her for that day. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because so the biggest thing for this year is actually we're increasing the amount for the donations for the wheel. So last year it was every $20 donation. Okay. This year it's every $50 donation.
Dude. Okay, so I'm trying to think. That is crazy last year then, because like if your goal was like 2,000, I'm like trying to do the math, like divide that by 2. You guys 100 dares?
Yeah.
You guys had to do 100?
Roughly, give or take. Roughly. Because it was essentially last year it was any $20 or more donation.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like there were some donations that were like $100, some donations that were like $75 or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially there was like, I would say probably 70 different spins of the wheel last year.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And did you guys hit like everything on the fucking wheel?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we surpassed it because we got to the point where we needed to figure out more shit to do.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this year we're planning to do more hardcore stuff. Like I said, the paintball.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, if people are paying $50, we got to make it at least a little more entertaining for them.
For sure.
Yeah.
For the kids, yeah. Hashtag for the kids.
Just gets lit up.
For the kids.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so enough talking about Extra Life. I think we're coming up towards the end of the podcast. So we'll end the podcast like we do every week. Buddy, do you have a recommended TV show and/or movie for this week?
Actually, I have another show I'd like to recommend, and that is Wynonna Earp.
Wynonna Earp. Why does that sound familiar?
Earp sounds familiar. I don't know.
It has to do with Wyatt Earp.
Yeah. It's on
Netflix.
Yeah. Oh my god, it looks really good.
It's so good. I'm like on the 2nd or 3rd season right now.
Damn, how many seasons are there?
6?
Oh my god, I am like so disassociated from like TV shows.
But it's really cool. It was like, you know what? I found this. Let's just look at it. It was good.
Nice.
Damn, that's a really good one. Baltazar, do you have a recommended movie and/or TV show?
If you don't want to feel sad, don't watch The Joker. I mean,
dude,
it's a
the
good
movie's so good.
It's a good movie. I didn't like it because it made me feel sad, but that's why it's a good movie. Because it did something to me.
Yeah, oh my god. I want to talk about The Joker because it is a fantastic film. We're not going to say any spoilers because George hasn't seen it yet and he wants to watch it. But essentially, it is a great drama.
Yeah.
It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it has some fantastic twists.
Yeah.
And just some fucking amazing acting from Joaquin Phoenix.
I would say unpredictable.
Yes.
It's definitely I want to call it a classic because it's really different from any other movie I've seen.
Yeah, it definitely it pulls from like you can see its inspiration, but it's its own film, and it is fucking good.
Yeah, really good. Like, I definitely like how they still kept the fact, like, the whole theme of like how a bad day, and in this case, probably in the movie was like a bad week.
Yeah.
How just like multiple bad events can just make a villain. Yeah.
Which and it's interesting for me because one, Joker's one of my favorite villains of all time.
Yeah.
But two, I know a lot of people know this about me. I strongly dislike prequels or like stories that give a villain meaning, quote unquote. Like Maleficent, I hated that movie personally. I hated it because I was like, she's supposed to be this badass sorceress, and you're giving her this like petty like love story.
Background,
like that I didn't care for. But I think the uniqueness of Joker as a character is because of how estranged he is, right? How unpredictable he is. This is a story that you can connect to the character because it can be anything.
Yeah.
Like a good example is in The Killing Joke, his origin story from that story is completely different.
Yeah.
The origin story from Joker from Tim Burton's Batman is completely different. It's Joker's one of the characters that you can have multiple interpretations of, but still make sense.
Yeah.
The biggest thing though is making sure that when he is the Joker, that he is the Joker.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt like at the end of this movie, where I was like, all right, this feels like Joker.
Yeah. It really the ending, or not the ending, but when it was getting to the like point where he's suited up,
he's like
the Joker. Yeah. I was just like, that's the Joker. Yeah, that's awesome. I loved it. Like, and don't get me wrong. There's like some of the other actors who've done Joker did a pretty good job. This is just
a completely different, and like, oh my god, it's just an outstanding performance. And to be honest, it's not even just him as Joker, it's him as the character, what's his name, Arnold or Arthur
I don't know.
Fleck. Like that character,
no one has actually done that. Character.
And it's fucking cool. Like, it's a unique character, which I've seen in different types of stories, but like not in a cinematic way.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing. But that's a great recommendation, Joker. Yeah, just A+.
Again, just it's gonna make you feel sick.
Be prepared. It's if not for him, then definitely the supporting characters. But my recommendation is actually going to be the Terminator series.
Ooh.
I got the.
See the was it good?
I saw Dark Fate.
Is that the newest one?
Yeah, it's the newest one. It's totally fucking worth it. I personally believe this is the best Terminator since Terminator 2.
You know what, dude? The commercials say that. Honestly, the
reason I don't want to get too much into it, but Sarah fucking Connor. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Bringing her back as one of the main characters made this movie so much better.
Really?
And it's just because of like the badassery that she brings. It's just she's a strong fucking character, and she just immediately when she's on screen, you're engaged. You're like, oh my god, I need to know where the fuck this goes to.
Yeah.
Granted, the other main like protagonists are fantastic actors. Like the main characters in this film are all female. But one of the things that I love about this ensemble of characters is it didn't feel shoved down your throat that they're girls.
Yeah.
Like a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies like force like the girl power down your throat.
Yeah.
This one was just, these are fucking badasses doing badass stuff.
Nice.
And that's what I loved about it. I was like,
that's cool.
Yep, I'm sold.
Yeah.
And granted, it's a modern movie, so the CGI is, a little out there. But it's one of those things where it's like you have to suspend your disbelief for it. Especially if you're going into a fucking Terminator movie. Like, you can't expect everything to be like hyper realist.
That's cool.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's
but
really
yeah, so
cool.
that's going to be my recommendation is the Terminator series. Like, if you haven't seen any of the Terminator films, definitely watch them. They're such a unique, like, type of story. Like, bringing in elements of sci-fi, like the time travel, and all of that. It's definitely unique if you've never checked it out. It's one of the most famous films of all time.
Yeah.
Like, James Cameron. Oh, that's another thing. Fucking James Cameron came in as the writing, like one of the writers for this movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like he came back to do something with Terminator, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys should definitely check it out. Yeah, I'm reminiscing like this weekend because that movie was really good.
Yeah, the last Terminator movie I watched was the second one. I mean, I think
T2?
I've seen the other ones too, but like the last one I watched is the second one. No, the
Genesis?
first one. The very first one.
Oh,
I watched it at
where he's the bad guy?
Yeah, I watched it at camp that I worked at.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, you watched that with kids?
Yeah, dude. So
why?
That thing.
Why the fuck would you ever do
So
that?
okay, so I went to camp for a retreat. There was no kids. So we went for a retreat.
Okay.
And me and Gio stayed at the infirmary just to sleep there, so everybody else could use the beds. And we were just like, dude, you know what? We have this TV VCR player. Let's just pop in some of these old movies.
VCR player.
Yeah.
The majority of the viewers are not going to get it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So It's the equivalent to like MP4, I guess, format. Yeah, but it's like physical. That's all I can really. It's a physical video.
Did you just compare MP4 to analog?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't describe VCR now.
It's a cassette.
Yeah, it's a cassette. I watched the Terminator movie, the very first one, and right when we got to like the brutal scenes, like the murder and even that awesome sex scene, whatever, and like once when we were watching that, I'm just like, this tape shouldn't be here. Yeah. Because like kids go there and like when they get sick, they will watch a movie. I'm like, no, we got to get this movie out of here.
Yeah. Terminator is not a child-friendly film.
No, it's not.
No, but there's a lot of people.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I love Terminator for sure.
It's a great series. Every iteration of the Terminator definitely puts a twist on the story. Mm-hmm. Which I enjoy. Granted, there's some movies that are just really bad. 3, Salvation. You know what? I actually like Genesis.
Is Genesis the one where...
It's the one with Khaleesi.
Oh, okay.
What the hell's her name? The chick from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know why I like that movie?
Why?
Because I thought it was interesting going back to the beginning.
Okay, that's fair.
I thought it was really clever to be like, you know what? This timeline's super fucked up. Let's go back to the very first movie, but put a twist on it. And that's exactly what they did. I think that's the reason why I liked it so much.
Yeah, okay.
But that being said, there's now like 4 different timelines in the Terminator franchise.
Yeah.
Actually, I talk about this in my review on the site. Like the Terminator timeline is like the Legend of Zelda timeline.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different stories which are interesting by themselves, but like when you look at the timeline, they make absolutely no sense.
It's just like what happens if this,
yeah.
go down this path or whatever.
Interesting.
It
really is interesting.
But Baltazar, thank you so much for coming up on the podcast, man. Yeah. It's been a long time. Hopefully,
dude, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, hopefully we can get you on again within the next few weeks. Buddy, thank you so much, as always. Don't forget to check out the website for some more updates, for more content. We'll be back next Wednesday for another episode of the podcast. And take care. Bye.
Bye.